What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld, and right now we're going to be taking a look at Sunday games, Week 14 in the NFL 2023 season, and it was a lot of games that I know a lot of you guys that are fans of teams would just like to forget, but I'm going to remind you of it, and we're going to go through it starting off with the Buccaneers and the Falcons. Now, like I told you guys before, the NFC South is kind of a joke, so I don't really spend a lot of time indulging in this. We don't know what Ritter is. We don't know what Mayfield's doing. There's a lot of weird stuff that's going on, but it's just like a toss-up until you get to the playoffs, and then the NFC South is going to be completely eliminated from our minds. That's the way I view it, because all the teams suck in the division. So if you're a fan of any of those teams, you know, the Saints, the Bucks, the Falcons, bro, enjoy your time, bro. Enjoy your fandomship, and you know, pretty much, you know, just know that you'll be eliminated as soon as possible once the playoffs start. But either way, 29-25, the Buccaneers come away with the win. The Falcons and the Bucks are both 6-7, but like I said, again, there's a few more weeks left in the season, and we're gonna figure out as far as, like, you know, the positioning and where the playoffs are gonna be and all that kind of stuff. But again, regardless of what happens here, does anybody believe that either of these teams would do anything? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just kick the facts, bro. We're late in the season, and we're trying to talk about teams that actually have a chance of doing things. So we're going to go ahead and just say good game to the Bucks. They got the win. They're both 6-7. Let's see how that works out. Jump to the Lions and the Bears. Now, many of you guys are going to say, you know, I did say this during a live stream on Twitch at GmiasWorld when I was streaming some Madden. I said, look, the Lions are going to lose to the Bears, because it's just too, like, it's set up to be that way, and when you feel that way, you know what's gonna happen. But I didn't expect the way that it happened. Okay, like, it was really nasty. Like, the Bears just dominated them throughout the entirety of the game. And at one point, you know, going into the half, when the Lions were up 13-10 after the Bears jumped out to a 10-0 lead, you really thought that, okay, maybe it wasn't scripted. And then all of a sudden, Justin Fields is running into the end zone for 6. Like, listen, bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I told all the Lion fans I like everything about the Lions except for Jared Goff. You guys laughed at me and said that, you know, he's enough, he can manage the game. No, he cannot. Okay? No, he cannot. That guy right there, he's the biggest problem that you have. And it all comes back to what I always tell you guys. The most important position is the quarterback. That is it doesn't matter, because look, you're going to get the ball every time, you know, the offense gets the ball, you have a chance to make a decision to make that team get points. So you have a lot that rides on your shoulders. And if Jared Goff is under center, you're done, you know, for the most part. So we're going to see what happens, because all of a sudden the Bears are 5-8, and we don't know how the season's going to end. And can they start winning more games? Either way, I don't know what's going to happen with Justin Fields. After talking to several people that are really, you know, inside with the Bears, it looks like they want to move on from him. I like his specimen. I like what he is, what he's built of. I just think that he needs better, I think he needs better coaching and a better surrounding cast. But that would be asking the same thing for, like, many of the quarterbacks in the league. So it's nothing special about it. You got to take what you got to deal with what you're given. You got to play the hand you're dealt. He hasn't played well. He's been injured this season. Do I think he'll get another shot? Yeah, I do. Probably just won't be with the Bears, but we'll see what happens there. The Lions, you're 9-4, but you're looking real weak right now, dude, as we close out the season. So I don't know what we have to do here, Dan Campbell, but, like, something has to get done, dude. Like, your team can't be going out there losing to the Bears. Like, the Bears, like, bruh, no, we're not doing this. Like, you got to be able to win these games. Unfortunately, their defense is going to do what they have to do. Their run game, you know, Gibbs going to do what he has to do. But will Jared Goff in the playoffs be able to do what he has to do? Because this is a dangerous team if everything comes together and they lock in. I'll give you that, Lion fans. They're very dangerous if they go out there and lock in. But I'm just like, I don't know. Watching them lose like that to the Bears was very, very wild. I was like, all right, whatever. I'm done with that team. I don't really care anyway. But it was pretty, you know, it was pretty wild. But again, the Lions are going to the playoffs more than likely, and I believe that they're one of those dangerous teams that can upset one of the teams that we think are going to advance. The Colts and the Bengals. This dude Browning, dude, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. It's always weird things like this when you take a look at it, when you pay someone and that person gets hurt. In this case, Joe Burrow, right? You bring in Browning, and this dude is balling 275, doing whatever he wants, and the Bengals are blowing teams out. So now all of a sudden, although Joe Burrow's out for the season, you give the Bengals a shot to make the playoffs, and then you never know what's going to happen because they still have a lot of talent around them. This is really, really crazy. Look, again, do I believe the Bengals without Joe Burrow would go to the Super Bowl? No. but the team plays very, very well right now, with Browning under center, and their defense is playing pretty solid. So with the NFL, it just depends on what the NFL wants, honestly, when you're watching these games. So we don't know what the whole storyline will be, but I don't expect the Bengals, obviously, to make a playoff run where it's like, yo, we're winning game. Like, I don't think that that's going to happen. If it does, it does. But I'm very impressed that they're winning like this and not just folding, because their starting quarterback and their franchise quarterback went down. They're actually out there still balling. So, that's pretty huge. Understanding what's going on as far as you lose such a huge play the way the Jets lost Aaron Rodgers, but still the Bengals are fighting. Look, dude, it is what it is. But the Colts, we never really expected anything from them. But remember, they're also 7-6. So this is something that, like I said, it's going to be a lot of trash teams in the playoffs that we know are going to get dominated, and we're going to have to wait and get through that first week, and then we'll start getting some action afterwards. But we'll wait to see how it works, because Minshew, dude, that dude is garbage. But we're not going to even get into that. The Jaguars and the Browns. Here goes another thing that's happening right now. Joe Flacco is 98 years old. The man went out there, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns. Are you effing kidding me, dude? Like, how is Joe Flacco out there doing that? And that's what's weird about Joe Flacco. He has that different type of luck where it's like, you don't really know. Even with the Ravens, when they got that Super Bowl, like, the lights went out, like, mad weird stuff. Like, this dude, I don't know what, like, is something going on with that guy, bro. Like, he either sold his soul to the devil or something's happening, because that guy is way too lucky. And when a guy is way too lucky, you got to take a look at it. Like, bro, what are you doing, dude? The Jags, listen, we got to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, the Jaguars, even when everything was good, Trevor Lawrence coming off of that little injury that he had and playing it out and, getting injured again, whatever. It is what it is. We didn't really expect anything from the Jaguars, and then they just turned out to be like number 1 in their division last week. There's been a lot of weird stuff happening, but honestly, I don't think any of us really believe that they're built right now to do anything in the playoffs, and that's what we're talking right now. The Browns, okay? Unfortunately, for those of you guys that hate on the Browns, Flacco was so lucky. They, with their defense and him throwing the ball the way he's throwing it, anything can happen. Yeah, I'm saying that. Hashtag dog pound. The Browns scare me because when they play defense like that, even though it was a close game towards the end and they only won by 4, 31-27, the Browns can up. They're another team like the Lions that they will go out there and beat your best team, and you won't know how your best team lost. You just won't know. That's the kind of team the Browns are. And they are very, very dangerous right now because Flacco still has a decent arm and he can get the ball down the field. So anything can happen. But the one thing that I know a lot of you guys do want to happen is Deshaun Watson to get removed from the roster completely. And I understand that. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, the dude is kind of wilding out. But we'll take a look at that as well and see how we want to rock it out. The Panthers and the Saints. Not a lot to talk about here. Bryce Young is garbage, and that's pretty much it. The Saints got the win, 28-6. Nothing really to write home about, man. It was a terrible game. The Saints dominated. They blocked punts. They did other weird things, got TDs. But, it is what it is. Both these teams suck. The Texans and the Jets. This was surprising. All right. Now, before anybody says anything crazy, C.J. Stroud got injured late in the 4th. Okay? I don't know what happened with the MILF hunter, Zach Wilson, but in the second half, I don't know if he was in the locker room and he banged somebody's moms. I don't know what happened, but he came out. And dude, if the Jets were able to get any kind of play like this throughout those other games that they played, with all the, it was like a carousel, the quarterback carousel going on. Nobody knew what was going on. If Zach Wilson was able to do a low percentage of this in some of the games that they lost, the Jets would be above 500 right now. And that's what's so scary about it, because their defense is for real. And C.J. Stroud found out about it last night. And that's ultimately what happened. I would have never thought the game would have been like this, even with, Zach Wilson coming out in the second half and going wild. I would have never thought the Texans would have got blown out like this the way that they've been playing. But it's the NFL, and things happen. Will the Jets be able to do anything, going forward? I doubt it. Are they going to go on like a winning streak? I doubt that. But that was a huge victory. And I got to tell you this right now. This is really, really crazy. I'm going to definitely go ahead and let you guys, think about that a little bit. The Texans still have a chance to make the playoffs, obviously. The Jets, I think they're dead in the water, but it is what it is. All right? We will figure out going forward what's happening. But the Texans, dog, C.J. Stroud looked really bad, even before the injury. And again, I know the Jets defense is really, good, but we've been talking him up. We got to talk about that as well. Bro, you look kind of trash. Rams and Ravens. Ravens win this on a punt return, bro. Like, are you, dude, in overtime. And the Rams, let me say something about the Rams, bro. There have been listen, the season started off when I didn't know what the Rams were going to be. If you guys go back to my first podcast of this season, and now all of a sudden, they're still doing that offensively. They're a scary, scary team. The Rams, like I said, you got to give them some due, bro, because most of us had no idea what was going on. This is really, really crazy with the way that this is going on right now, dog. They took the Ravens into overtime, and without that punt return, we don't know which way it's going to go because the Rams' offense was cooking. That's a team I would really watch, the Rams, in the playoffs, because I don't know how they're winning, but they're doing that, and they're really battling it out with really good teams. So, look, honestly, very, very exciting game, 37-31. The Ravens are 10-3. Yo, look, it could go either way, guys. You know what I'm saying? If the Ravens win the Super Bowl, I don't know if I would like it too much simply because of the way that the organization treated Lamar Jackson, but I would be appreciative because that way nobody can say anything to him going forward because now he has the MVP and he has a Super Bowl ring. And that's the only thing that really, I'm like between a rock and a hard place with it. I don't really know what's going on. But again, the Ravens are tough right now. Let's see how it works out. Vikings and the Raiders. This game was excruciating to watch, bros. It was absolutely excruciating to watch. I could not believe that this game was televised, the Vikings and the Raiders. Both of these teams, I realized, they suck. Long story short, the game sucked for the entire 4 quarters, and the Vikings won 3-0. I'm not even going to talk about it because it was that bad. Both those teams need to be thrown away, dude. Although the Vikings are 7-6, and they have a chance to make the playoffs, I got to be totally honest. It was disgusting to watch. Seahawks and the Niners. I know it was only 28-16, but realistically, the most funny part about the game was DK Metcalf getting ejected. Yo, dude, that was so... Yo, bro, oh my God. Like, sometimes you watch the game and you're looking at it and you just got to find reasons to laugh, and that was hilarious. Because, sometimes things that people do bring out crazy anger, and you can't control yourself, and it was just absolutely hilarious to watch what transpired. But ultimately, the Niners scored every single quarter, and they were just the better team, obviously. McCaffrey, 16 carries, 145. Deebo Samuel, 7 receptions, 149 yards. Purdy, 368, 2 touchdowns. Niners were doing Niner things, and that's ultimately what it was. And it is what it is. Niners are the better team in the NFC West, and that's it. The Bills and the Chiefs. Now, listen to me. The Chiefs fumbled the bag on this, but I want to tell you guys something, right? The touchdown that they took off because of the offsides, I totally agree with the call. Kadarius Toney is an idiot, and somebody has to tell him, look, bro, after this season, you're gone. Like, somebody needs to tell him that right now. That way he just continues to tank, because I don't know what he's doing, but the dude lined up in another country, and everybody is mad that the refs actually called it. I can't be mad about it because it's clear. Now, the one thing that the refs should have done is check to make sure that everybody was lined up correctly. They usually do that, but Kadarius Toney is so out of this planet, he didn't even look at a ref. He just stepped on the line and over it and was just way off sides. That's what he did. Now, Patrick Mahomes raging and talking about the refs. Yes, in most cases, the refs are doing whatever they want. It's disgusting, right? This call, not so much. One of the funny things, though, is the play right after that, Von Miller was off sides, and they didn't call that. So, look, it is what it is, right? But honestly, the Chiefs fumbled this win. They fumbled it, bro. And it's disgusting. The Bills played very well. They fought, they clawed, they did whatever. They won the game. It is what it is. That call right there, though, was a valid call. And I know the Chiefs fans don't want to hear it, but they've been calling that a lot this season. They usually didn't call it a lot, like offensive offsides, but they've been calling it a lot this season. Kadarius Toney is the biggest idiot I've ever seen in my life. And he's just been doing everything possible to be like crazy. You know what I'm saying, bro? Like, to just do real, ridiculous things. And I got to be totally honest, this is just what it is. This is what starts to happen later on in the season. These mistakes start to hurt, and you start to lose games, and that's ultimately what happened. But again, the refs are terrible, like overall. But that call was valid. Yes, they pick and choose when to make the calls, but that was a valid call, in my opinion. The Broncos and the Chargers. Look out, guys. The Broncos are 7-6. Everybody's scared. Bro, they beat the Chargers, and the Chargers suck. And the backup quarterback sucks, too, on the Chargers. And everything about that team is terrible. Okay? I've been telling you this before, and I'll tell you again. The Chargers are a terrible football team. Okay? The Broncos winning this game is not surprising, and I am not shocked. But it is good that they've been on this win streak. They will continue to play like that, and they will be eliminated very soon once the playoffs start. And that's ultimately what's going to happen. Finally, the game of the night. Bro, showtime, primetime, Eagles-Cowboys. The Cowboys beat the brakes off the Eagles, all right? And right now, with the way that, everything is going, you got to be kind of careful what's going to happen with the Cowboys. Can the Cowboys bring this kind of momentum into the playoffs and actually break the curse? Remember, once Jerry Jones apologized to Jimmy Johnson publicly, and he's in the Ring of Honor with the Cowboys, I think he broke the curse, guys. I think the Cowboys might be ready to go. And it could be a major, major problem for a lot of people. I just want to make sure I put that out there. The curse has been broken, dudes. But the Eagles have been playing bad anyway for the last couple weeks, so we're not really concerned about that. I do think the Eagles have a chance to bounce back and figure it out, but 33-13 is a butt kicking, dude. It's a butt kicking, all right? Some of the things that I noticed, Pollard was under 100 yards, 59 yards, and Prescott didn't throw for 300, but, the Eagles' defense is pretty solid. The Cowboys' defense is pretty solid as well. And I saw Micah Parsons just run right through Lane Johnson, and I'm ready to say he's the best pass rusher in the league. I have not seen a pass rusher do that to Lane Johnson. That's a guy that's been very, very solid as a lineman for a very long time. Micah Parsons, bro, dude, if they go into the playoffs like this, it's going to be hell or high water, dudes. They might be able to do it, and the curse could possibly be broken. Do you think the Cowboys can finally break the curse and win a Super Bowl? Let me know. Remember, you can download this podcast for free. GmiasWorld Podcast, iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, everywhere, dude. Android, download it for free, share it, do all that good stuff, and you guys go ahead and have a blessed day. I'm going to see you guys and girls next time. One love, y'all.